Well, the second game of the day is finally here, and it's number 2 Aurora and number 5 Marian. Just sent one team home, another one's going to follow them out of here after this one. An elimination game that'll have us with just 4 teams remaining. The tall righty, Brandon Moore, getting loose on the mound right now, representing Marian in the all-white uniforms. Got stirrup socks high up there in blue with the blue hat, M, right on the front of it for Marian. And then Aurora in the all-black road uniforms with Aurora written across the chest in blue lettering, white outline. Here with Peter Borkowski, I'm Ethan Birch. Two of us got you covered here in the 2025 NACC baseball tournaments. So far, Peter, Marian has been an excellent story, but now facing elimination. Gave MSOE a run for their money yesterday, the 1 seed, but fell just short. Now they got to take on the 2 seed, a 2 seed that has already lost here in this tournament. They have revenge on their mind. What can we expect in this one?
Yeah, I'd expect for Marian, it's that gritty style of play. We saw it all of yesterday in both their win against Benedictine as well as their loss to MSOE of they just don't go away. They don't overwhelm you, right? They're not a great batting team. They're not a great pitching team, but they just don't go away. As long as they're within 2 or 3 runs of you, they're just going to keep nipping at your heels. They're going to be on you all game long. This is one of those teams that unless you just absolutely bury them, they are never, ever out of a game. Very opportunistic team as well, right? This is a lineup who wasn't consistently good, but they just got hits when they needed them. Right, that bottom of the lineup, that's something to note in your scorebook. Gus Walker and Mark Jones, they've been moved up a spot each in this lineup. So coach of Marian, Badinger, he's looking to get a little bit more consistent production out of this team. As for Aurora, you're kind of waiting to see the real Aurora come to play, right? They looked iffy against Edgewood in their first game yesterday. They ended up losing that one. See what they can do here against another lower seed in the number 5 Sabres. I think it's going to be a good one. I don't know what to expect exactly because with the team like Marian, if they get blown out by the number 2 seed, I wouldn't be surprised if they win this game. I wouldn't be surprised either.
Curcio now in a 1-1 count beginning the top of the first inning. Sean Feldman's behind the plate calling balls and strikes. Pat Mullock is over at first, and Patrick Weber is over at third. That's your umpiring crew. As the tall righty has now missed twice on back-to-back breaking balls. Brandon Moore, 6'5", 225, a senior. Illinois product. He's pitched to an 8.47 earned run average. As he almost hits the lefty Dominic Curcio, who's now in a 3-1 count. Struck out 25 across 34 innings. He's allowed 6 homers this year, and it's his first time pitching against this Aurora Spartans lineup. Hitters count 3-1. Curcio takes it up and out, and the first batter of the ball game is on for Aurora via the walk, and a good chance to check out the rest of this order. Braden Gorecki coming up to the plate here. He's in the 2-hole. Joe Lukancic, he's in the 3-hole playing right. Middle of the order, Logan Riley, Nick Sarnecki, and Ryan Buck. And the bottom 3 is Matthew Washington, Carson Faust, and Spencer Rook. They are starting the NACC Pitcher of the Year, Jordan Zimmerman, who got banged around yesterday in an inning and a 2/3. We can touch more on that in the bottom of the first inning. But here is Gorecki. Swings at the first pitch and yanks it foul down the line. It's a much warmer day than it was yesterday. Ball is clearly carried a lot better. It's 60 degrees here in Glendale, Wisconsin. Wind blowing just a simple 6 miles an hour. Saw 2 home runs in the game earlier between Benedictine and Concordia Chicago. We saw 3? Was it 3?
Yep. Sean Boswell hit one for CUC. And then I'm blanking on his name. George Batevis hit one. And then Brennan Fisher.
So, yeah, add on to the fireworks.
Brennan Fisher really ended CUC's run with a 3-run bomb that put that game out of reach, despite CUC's best efforts in the bottom of the 9th. Plate and 2, trying to come back, but Ben, you shutting the door telling them no go and sending their arch rivals from River Forest back to River Forest today. The Eagles, they will play the winner of this game at 7 p.m. tonight. Loser of that goes home. Loser of this game goes home too.
So we're going to drive center field, but right at, that's Walker out there, Gus Walker. Camps under it, doesn't have to move very much, and that's your first out here of the ball game.
Yeah, and I think a game like this with the weather, if we're talking about the weather, I think it favors Aurora, right? This is a good offense, right? They've put up some good numbers all year long. Maybe they were a little bothered by the cold yesterday. They're also playing at that weird dusk hour where the sun was super brutal. It wasn't perfect conditions lighting-wise, right? You look at the sun the wrong way, you're blinded for a couple seconds. Now they get that prime 1:15 start time. Beautiful outside, still a little chilly, but I think things favor the offense a little more today than it did yesterday.
Lukancic is the hitter, and he'll still have to wait on the first pitch he sees to begin this AB. So Aurora, the 2 seed, got matched up against the 6 seed Edgewood and lost 10-9. So they find themselves in this game right here against Marian as a strike comes over here from Moore.
Yeah, I'm really interested to see this Edgewood squad. We'll see them next game taking on the number 1 seed MSOE. Whoever wins that ends up being 1 win away from winning the NACC tournament. And that Edgewood squad, kind of like this Marian team, but I'd say even more so. They've really been the story of the tournament. I'm excited to see what that Eagles squad does against the host team, the Raiders. But we got a long way to go. Still 9 innings of play here.
1-1 here to Lukancic, who slashes one the other way. It's a foul ball. This is Aurora team that is now 22-19 overall. Finished the regular season in conference play 16-8. But they've lost 2 in a row. So obviously they lost to Edgewood and then finished the regular season with a non-conference loss. And ironically handled Edgewood with ease. A couple mercy rule victories. And then Edgewood comes back and beats them in the conference tournament. 1-2, Lukancic able to lay off the lefty, leaves the fastball upstairs. So Aurora going to look to really get it going offensively. Obviously brought in 9, but never really felt like this Spartans group got into a rhythm here. And Lukancic is the average leader, 375. As the runner goes, breaking ball, wave and a miss. He didn't go. Curcio broke and then went back to first on a swinging strikeout. And there's 2 outs.
Yeah, I'm interested to see, not that we can really tell, but just the mentality of this Aurora team, right? You played yesterday. You're playing off the bye. You don't have to play in the single elim game. You're playing against an Edgewood team who already had a game under their belt, beating CUC in the first game of yesterday. Now, Aurora, do they feel a little bit more of that urgency, right? Of, if we lose this game, if we blow it again to a lower seed, we're done. We're going home after a really nice season, number 2 in the NACC. Right? This is a team who's always in this position, right? They're probably the most consistent conference winner over the last decade plus in terms of constantly being back here, constantly winning the championship.
Yeah, they have the most tournament wins at 7. Only 4 programs have ever won this. This one is over the head of Riley. To the backstop it goes as Nelson was unable to reel it in. It's going down as a wild pitch. And Curcio is in scoring position here in the top of the first inning. So Aurora's going to look to get on the board first, set the tone as they have their ace, Zimmerman, on the mound.
Yeah, and see what Zimmerman has got in store for us. NACC Pitcher of the Year, 1.2 innings last night, 46 pitches, allowed 4 runs, all of which were earned. Is he going to look tired? Is he going to be a little bit more dialed in after getting banged around last night? I'm interested to see what the NACC Pitcher of the Year has in store for us, but Marian's got to take care of business now. 3-0 count to Logan Riley. Had 3 hits yesterday, including an RBI, and came around to score a run.
Fastball right down the middle here to Riley, the catcher for the Spartans. Very powerful Aurora team. They've hit 36 home runs throughout the season up to this point. That's fourth most behind just Benedictine with 39, Concordia Chicago with 39, and Rockford with 45. And obviously Rockford and Concordia Chicago no longer alive in this tournament. This is slashed down the right field line. This is trouble, and it lands in fair territory. Up against the wall, Jones will have to play the carom, and by the time he does, Aurora has drawn first blood. Logan Riley, an RBI double.
And you want to say this is a good start for Aurora, and it is, right? Anytime you can strike first, get a run in the first inning off the starter, that's a good start, but they had a very similar start yesterday against Edgewood, right? Opening that game, they came out, they scored 2 in the bottom of the first, they scored another in the second to take a 3-1 lead into the third, and that's where Edgewood really started to come alive. So, yeah, good start for Aurora, but just keep piling it on. You want to beat a hungry team like Marian, you got to bury them. You can't leave any room for error on your part.
Hitter now is Zarnecki.
Yeah, yesterday Zarnecki in that Edgewood loss. 1 for 4, run. Did drive in 3 RBIs, however. Also walked.
Clear that Mora doesn't have much feel of that breaking ball just yet. Pitch that he clearly wants to rely on, but has not been able to get it into the zone here. He's fallen behind another hitter. It's 2 balls and no strikes. Here to Nick Zarnecki, the left fielder for the Spartans. 2-0 is taken outside. Chance to look at the Spartans' defensive alignment with Nelson behind the plate. Lemons is the DH in the infield. Radaman at third, Nor at short, Peace at second, Bornick at first, and the outfields. Clayman, Walker, and Jones, left, center, and right. It's practically the exact same lineup. The only change for Marian is that Gus Walker goes from 9 to 7, and Lucas Lemons gets slotted into that 9 hole, as that is a strike. Right at the letters here to Zarnecki, who is now in a 3-1 count, and an opportunity to really pick one out here for Zarnecki. Not a qualified hitter, hitting .365 across now 28 appearances here in 2025. Zarnecki swings and rolls one on the ground over to the second baseman, Peace. And the inning comes to an end on the 4-3 putout. But Logan Riley drives home Dominic Curcio, and the Spartans have a 1-0 lead headed to the bottom of the first. Bottom of the first inning coming your way here on the Cougar Sports Network. Aurora, Marian taking center stage here at Raiders Stadium in Glendale, Wisconsin. The NACC Pitcher of the Year now takes the mound, this 6'1" southpaw. He's an Aurora kid playing his baseball at Aurora University. Justin Zimmerman, a strikeout machine. The NACC Pitcher of the Year with a 2.86 earned run average. 104 strikeouts across 72 and a third of work, has walked just 22. And the southpaw comes home and misses outside to Logan Radaman, highlighting the beginning of the Marian order with Robbie Knorr in the 2, James Bornick in the 3. Middle of the orders, Ryan Nelson, Jacob Clayman, and Dylan Peace, with Gus Walker, Mark Jones, and Lucas Lemons highlighting a 7, 8, and 9 as Zimmerman has fallen behind 2-0 here to Radaman.
Yeah, and Zimmerman, not his first time being Pitcher of the Year, did it in 2022, the 23 season as well. Also was a first-team All-Conference member that year and All-Region team by D3Baseball.com and the American Baseball Coaches Association. Wasn't quite as good in 23-24, and he's right back where he was here in 24-25. Like you said, Aurora kid, went to West Aurora High School, also played football there, and previously, before attending Aurora, he was at Elgin Community College, so a JUCO product for Coach Adam Stevens and his pitching staff, and he's paid off in dividends, 2 Pitcher of the Year titles, as well as some other accolades.
This one line down the right field line, long way to go. Lukancic has to play it on a hop. He plants his feet in the turf and chucks it in, holding Radaman to just a single. But a nice piece to the opposite side. And the story we have to focus on is Zimmerman and his struggles yesterday against Edgewood. Lasted just an inning and 2/3 of relief, allowed 5 hits, 4 earned runs, recorded just 1 strikeout, and he threw 46 pitches. So very interested to see the shape that Zimmerman is in here in this start, with the season on the line.
Yeah, this is who you turn to, though, right? Season on the line. Yeah, he got banged up last night, but again, he's your senior. He's a 2-time Pitcher of the Year and first-team All-NACC member. This is who you want to give the ball to. I'm wondering what the leash is, though. You know, I'm assuming usually Zimmerman has a very long leash from his coaching staff just due to his history and all of his accolades. But in this game, after you threw last night, and you know if things go south, you're done for the tournament, you're done for the season. Interested to see what Coach Adam Stevens and his pitching staff, pitching coaches let Zimmerman get away with.
Breaking ball lifted into center. Curcio is right there, sizing it up for the first out here of the first inning. As so far, Zimmerman in his career has now struck out 249 hitters, one away from the 250 strikeout milestone. This is the only year of his 3 here at Aurora that he struck out more than 100. In the year where he won the NACC Pitcher of the Year for the first time was in 2023, where he flirted with a 3.32 ERA as the breaking ball scrapes the zone here to Bornick, and it's 0-1.
Yeah, tale of 2 James Bornicks yesterday in Game 1 against Benedictine. 3 for 5 with an RBI and a run scored. Went 0 for 3 against MSOE later in the night. So that's going to be a big factor here today in Marian's 1, possibly 2 games is what James Bornick do they get? Do they get that Game 1 from yesterday, who's able to get 3 hits on 5 at-bats and just keep the chains moving? Or are they going to get that Game 2 version who couldn't even reach base other than being hit by a pitch?
Oh, they have Radaman picked off, throw to second. He's a dead duck. 2 outs.
Not going to be surprised to see a lot of small ball, a lot of trickery from Marian. They know that this Aurora team, it outclasses them in a lot of ways statistically, right? So they got to get a little creative. They got to steal some bases. They got to extend bases and hits, right? Take that extra base and start playing a little small ball. So not going to be surprised if we see some more steal attempts. We see some bunts. And Marian just pulling everything out of their hat. Try and upset the number 2 Aurora.
1-2. That one misses outside. Riley is the catcher. Gorecki's at third. Rook at short. Washington at second. Faust at first. Zarnecki in left. You met Curcio. He's out in center. Lukancic is in right. 2-2. Swing and a miss. Strikeout number 250 in the career of Justin Zimmerman. And the NACC pitcher is able to set down Marian in order in the first. Second inning coming your way here on the Cougar Sports Network. As Aurora with the lead, thanks to a run in the first inning on a Logan Riley RBI double, and a scoreless inning from Justin Zimmerman. Ryan Buck to lead things off, and the lefty watches the first one go by in the zone for a called strike, and we're underway here in this second inning. It's Buck, Washington, and Faust.
Buck 1 for 5 in Aurora's loss yesterday. Came around to score a run. Did leave a runner on a base as well. Also reached base by hit by pitch. So a couple trips to the base pass for Ryan Buck. Only one via hit.
And a 2-strike count. The 0-2 fastball right down the middle, but he pops it up. Center field, it's shallow. Walker drifting into the gap in left center field and reeling it in for the first out. Not a great pitch there from Moore, but it works. And it brings up Matthew Washington.
Sometimes hitters just miss one. Yeah, and as for Washington, moved way down in the order. He was batting second in Aurora's loss yesterday. 0 for 3, was walked twice, came around to score twice as well.
Washington, a 288 hitter, an OPS of 767, and that's across 39 games, 32 of which he started in. 1-0's downstairs, now 2-0 to him. Good on-base percentage of 385. That ranks in the top 6 amongst qualified hitters on this Aurora team. Very high-powered offense. 2-0 lifted in the air center field. Routine out there for Walker, who's been busy here in the second inning, and there's 2 outs.
Yeah, like to see more settle in here. You allow a run in the first, maybe show, hey, that was just first inning jitters, right? And that's not a sign of things to come. Aurora doesn't have his number. And what better way to do that than a quick 1-2-3 here? Just has to get through the 8-hole hitter, Carson Faust.
Not an easy hitter to get around as Faust takes the first pitch fastball off the plate. 360 is the average, but a small sample size, just 25 ABs this year. And out of his 9 hits, 2 of them have been home runs, 3 total extra base hits. Faust takes it up and in. He's driven in 12, slugging right now 640. Strikeouts have been the small flaw, 8 of them, compared to just 2 walks. He finds himself back in the order here for Aurora for the second straight game.
Yeah, yesterday, 2 for 4, an RBI. Good game there from Faust. Also some nice defense at first. Always like to see that.
3-0 your count. Faust takes a strike right above the knees, outside corner. Nice frame there from Nelson, helps buy the strike. So Faust still far ahead here. Can pick one out, look to drive a baseball. Moore looking to end at the top of the second inning, and it's a fastball that's fouled off. Full count.
Good fight here for Moore. Fall down early, get at least to a full count. Make Faust do something here, right? Can't just look at one unless it's way outside the zone. You got to fight off anything with 2 strikes.
3-2, that's on the hands, foul ball, and he does just that. Aurora, 7-time NACC tournament champions. If they can win this one, they'd play Benedictine tonight. Chance to head to the semifinal. 3-2, that's punched up the gut. That's a base hit past the Divanor. And it's a 2-out single here for Carson Faust. It'll bring up the 9-hitter, Spencer Rook.
Yeah, good fight there. You start up, you're way up in the count, and then Moore able to battle back, fill up the count, and then you still end things with a base hit. Extend this inning, extend Moore's inning as well. So if Richard was anything to go by last night, Coach Baininger, pardon me, and his Marian staff don't have a problem with letting their pitchers go deep and deep into that pitch count, especially now that their season is on the line.
Spencer Rook, the 9-hitter, looking to turn this order around for the top with Curcio up next. This is outside, and it's 2-0. This has been the common theme so far. Moore has been falling behind hitters here in this Aurora lineup. Now, he's battled back and has only allowed 1 run, but he's seen a lot of hitters, and he's now thrown 38 pitches. 39 comes home, and it's 3-0. And now, when you were right on the brink of a quick 1-2-3 inning, a foul single and a 3-0 count to Spencer Rook, has he in a bit of trouble here. Lost him on 4 pitches. Leadoff hitter Curcio coming up.
Yeah, that's the last thing you want to do is let that 9-hole hitter reach safely. Because, yes, there are 2 outs, but now you got to face Curcio, who's been pretty hard to get out all tournament long. And the rest of the top of this Aurora lineup, you got to face them with 2 runners on. Any base hit here could likely score a run here, extend Aurora's lead.
15 multi-hit games this year for Dominic Curcio. One of them coming against Edgewood, where he went 3 for 5 just yesterday. I mean, this is a hit machine, someone who has recorded as many as 6 hits in a game. That came on March 28th this year against Wisconsin Lutheran. Yeah. 3 triples out of those 6 hits. I mean, elite bat-to-ball skills. And hoping to capitalize here for this squad. I mean, he also mixed in a homer in that game. 6 RBIs. What a monster of a game, and what a monster performance from Dominic Curcio. He's got first and second with 2 outs. 1-0 coming to the plate, and it's now 2-0.
Yeah, it's who you want leading off, right? I mean, he shows that he can do anything with it. You could probably put him anywhere, and he's going to find success. But leading off, it's just a guy who gets on base. It's a guy who gets extra base hits, too. Really sets the table up well for those 2, 3, and 4 hitters.
Hitters count. And that grows. 3-0.
Yeah, Moore starting to lose it here. Right. Issued the full count walk to Faust. Rook, 4-pitch walk. And now he's in danger of doing it again to Curcio and loading the bags up when you were just 1 out away from getting out of this inning really cleanly.
And he walks another. A single, a pair of walks, and the 2-hitter, Gorecki, coming up with the bases loaded. And Marian wants a mound visit here. Got to try to find a way to settle Moore down, who is now in a load of trouble, but still a pitch away from getting out of this thing.
Yeah, I'm sure that's largely what this conversation is about is, hey, settle down, just pitch to contact. We talked all day yesterday about how good this Marian defense is and how good they can be. So just pitch to him, right? You can see the coach out there getting a little emphatic with his pitcher, just telling him, hey, lock in here. Just get 1 out. Doesn't matter what it takes. Fly out, strike out, ground out. Just get the ball in play, get it over to first or any of the other bases. You got force outs everywhere here, too.
Moore coming off a rocky start against Lakeland University on the 29th of April. Lasted just an inning and 2/3, allowed 4 hits, 5 runs, 4 of which were earned. Hoping to get through 2 innings here against Aurora in the postseason with the season on the line. You got Faust at third, Rook at second, Curcio at first.
And Marian's already got their bullpen going. Coach Badinger not taking any chances if Moore doesn't have it.
Gorecki gets a breaking ball, loops it to the left side. Going a long way, Radaman still going. Radaman, did he reel it in? Oh, my goodness. What a catch as he tumbles down to the turf. And Moore escapes a bases-loaded jam thanks to his third baseman, Radaman. Well, Marian escaped disaster in the top of the second. Now the middle of the order is coming up. Ryan Nelson and Jacob Clayman and Dylan Peace. This part of the order really looking to figure it out here for this Marian squad. As Nelson so far 0 for 7 in the tournament takes a first pitch strike here from Zimmerman.
Yeah, Nelson 0 for 4 in their win against Benedictine. And then he added on to that 0 and 3. Did draw a walk, though, against MSOE in their loss. As for Clayman, Clayman's been doing a good job. 2 for 4 in their win against Benny. Had 3 RBIs in that game. And then
Nelson able to lay off a fastball upstairs.
1 for 3 against MSOE with an RBI. But then you're right, Dylan Peace, he's another one who he needs to pull it together too. 0 for 4 and then 1 for 4 in those 2 games. So it's all about what happens after those top 3 hitters. Radaman, Noren, Bornick, they're always going to be good. And Jacob Clayman's been really consistent this tournament as well. But what about those other guys, right? Are they going to be able to put some hits together?
Now 3-2 as Zimmerman continues to miss outside. A little frustrated with himself. Doesn't feel like he has executed his 2-strike pitches from an 0-2 to a 3-2 count, and he loses them. And clearly frustrated on the mound here. Got to regain his composure as that's a leadoff runner on for the 2nd consecutive inning here for the Sabres of Marian.
Yeah, if you're Marian, just let him keep throwing, right? He threw over 40 pitches last night. Let him tire himself out. Let him get frustrated with himself. Either you're going to start seeing a lesser version of him, or you're going to be able to get to Aurora's bullpen.
Here's Clayman. Left on left, first one outside. Now 8 times this year has Zimmerman struck out 8 or more. And his best strikeout performance of the year came in a 7-inning mercy rule victory for Aurora against Benedictine. He struck out 14 in that game. The tall lefty comes home on an 0-1. Rather 1-1. Now it's 1-1. As he finds the corner on a fastball there. Clayman so far 3 for 7 here in the tournament. Had a big game number 1, but then was held quiet against the top dogs yesterday, MSOE. Still nobody out in the inning. And Zimmerman will take a moment just to pick over, take a look at Nelson, who's not much of a threat to run at all. The catcher running the bases here for the Sabres.
Yeah, 1 for 3 on stolen bases attempt this year. But again, I wouldn't be surprised if Marian starts trying some cute things out there, trying to advance those base runners.
Well, here's an attempt to do just that. Clayman gets a bunt down. Zimmerman off the hill, makes a strong throw for the first out, but a sac bunt moves Nelson into scoring position, representing the tying run.
Yeah, and that's what you got to do, right? You're going up against a really good pitcher, even though he's looked a little rocky to start here. But you're going up against a good pitcher. You're going up against a good team. You got to take everything you can get. Move those runners over. Focus on scoring 1 run. Don't worry about the big swing, the big home run. Just play a little small ball here. That's how you can get some upsets going.
Here's Peace. Only saw him as a left-handed hitter yesterday. Now his first AB against a lefty, and he's hitting from the right side. The switch hitter here for Marian in the 6-hole, as he's been all tournament long.
Yeah, Coach Badinger leaving him there. Gonna let him just try to figure this one out. See if he can come alive here, as their season's on the line. And for Peace, likely his career is listed as a graduate student.
Just 1 for 8 so far here in the tournament. Picked up his only hit against MSOE last night. It was an excellent game. Marian ended up falling 4-3. The big moment in that game was Clayman hitting a double up against that right field wall with the tying runs on first and second. It was 2 outs in the 8th inning, and obviously the runner from second scored. The runner from first was streaking around the bases, hoping to score from first, and a perfect relay by the top seed, MSOE, throughout the game-tying run at the dish. That was in the top of the 8th inning. And they'd hold on and take down Marian, who gave that team a good run for their money as Peace takes a big cut at it. So 2 balls and 2 strikes, your count. Zimmerman looking to put him away here. Takes a long look at Nelson. Turns his head, he kicks, he fires, and it's lifted foul right side of home plate.
Good fight here. Just keep extending that pitch count, right? Zimmerman right now. He's closing in on 30 through an inning and a third. Not the worst number, but hasn't been super effective yet.
Breaking ball lifted in the air. Center field routine out there. Curcio sizing it up, and there's 2 outs. It's a good bounce back after the leadoff walk to Nelson, because it wasn't very pretty for Zimmerman again. Was up 0-2 and then lost him on 4 straight balls. Clayman bunted Nelson over into scoring position. Peace just flew out. It's up to Gus Walker. Walker really got it going late in the game against Benedictine. Had the big moment here for this squad. A go-ahead single in the top of the 9th inning. No balls and 1 strike. Here to Walker, the center fielder of Marian. Zimmerman kicks and fires. Check swing on a strike, 0-2. Zimmerman already with a strikeout. Struck Bornick out in the first. These 2 teams split the season series, a game apiece. Who is it going to be here in the postseason in their final meeting of the year? 0-2. Swing and a miss. Couple strikeouts in as many innings for Zimmerman, the NACC pitcher of the year, has his squad leading by a run, headed to the 3rd. Third inning, a 1-run game favoring Aurora, who acts as the away team here in this neutral site postseason game. Number 2 Aurora, number 5 Marian. Winner moves on, loser goes home. Leading off for Aurora is Lukancic, who takes the first one up and out. It's Lukancic, Riley, and Zarnecki. Second time through here against Moore, who was in a load of trouble in the 2nd inning, but escaped. Lukancic pulls one on the turf. It was the 3rd baseman, Radaman, who made a ridiculous play in foul territory. That was with the bases loaded and Gurecki, the 2-hitter up. A 2-out rally that did not bring home any runs, but left the bases loaded, as that's left upstairs.
Yeah, might have saved Moore a little bit. He was really, really struggling to get out of that inning. 2 quick outs, single, 2 straight walks before that fly out to Radaman in foul territory. And it was a really good snag at that by Radaman. If that doesn't happen, who knows? Maybe that next pitch leaves the field for a grand slam. But Radaman helping his pitcher out. See if he can settle in here after a rough inning, but not looking like it yet.
And he walks on 5 pitches. The walks nearly haunted Moore in that second inning. Now, Marian has a few bodies in their bullpen right now. Again, season on the line. If Moore doesn't have it, you just got to move on. It's only a 1-run game right now, and we're only in the 3rd inning, so there is so much baseball to go. As Logan Riley has done all the damage so far in the scoring column, and he takes strike at number 1, outside corner. He ripped an RBI double into deep right field in his first at-bat, scored Dominic Curcio, who was standing at second. And now looking to get something going here in inning number 3.
Oh, and I think that pickoff attempt ended up hitting first baseman Bornick. I think that hit him on the wrist. See the ball immediately hit the ground, and then he threw his glove off. You see him playing with it now. Might have hit right above where the glove ends on your hand. As now coach is going to come out and check on him.
Bornick, the 3-hitter, one of the better hitters in the Marian lineup.
Yeah, that'd be a tough loss if he has to come out. It doesn't look like it as of now. Yeah, dinged up a little bit last night, too. Took a pitch off the top of the foot. He was hobbling around for a little bit. But he's going to try and stick it out here. He's still playing with that left hand. That's his glove hand. That was a quick pickoff attempt from Moore, too. I think it had some velo on it. If that hit kind of at the wrist, right where the hand and the wrist meet. Not going to feel so hot, especially because it's still a little chilly out.
No balls and a strike here to Riley. Riley is laying on a fastball that was elevated 0-2.
Riley wanted all of that one. Had that RBI double in the first inning, pardon me. Allowed Curcio to come home and score.
Oh, 2, check swing. He's able to leave it upstairs. Riley able to lay off with Zarnecki up next, a ground out victim in the first inning. Two-strike pitch. Breaking ball is a double play ball off to the right side. Peace had a tough time getting rid of it. Still able to get the out at second. Lukancic erased from the base path, and Riley will take his spot at first with 1 out.
Yeah, Peace coming over, just couldn't keep his footing under him. Goes down to the knees, had to pick himself back up, brace himself with his arms so he didn't completely topple over. And that just tied up his hands before he could flip that one to second base. So at least you get the lead runner out. Would have liked to turn 2 there because it looked like a pretty good double play ball.
So here's Zarnecki, the aforementioned 5-hitter in this order. Gotta give credit to Moore. Obviously ran into some trouble in the second inning, but has completely recomposed himself as this one's lifted in the air to right center field and deep. Walker giving chase deep in the gap, able to track it down at the edge of the warning track. Well, that was given a good ride from Zarnecki, but just not enough to leave this deep, deep ballpark, and there's 2 outs.
So, yeah, he hit it to about the deepest part of the ballpark. Only thing deeper would have been dead center. So, plenty of room for Walker to get over there and make the grab.
Here comes Ryan Buck, the DH, with now 2 outs. It's a first pitch strike here to Moore. That is pitch number 58. So obviously a big workload.
Yeah, and that's been the story of Marian all tournament, though. Nothing's come easy. Nothing's been pretty. but they just work through everything. They strike when the time's right, and we saw that last night. Richard didn't throw an eye-popping game in terms of his numbers, but did throw over 130 pitches, just gritted it out, saved some bullpen arms for today. Might have 2 games coming up here for Marian, depending on how this one goes.
We'll leave today with just 3 teams left. Some more breaking ball is downstairs below the knees. So it's now 2-1 here to Buck, who flew out to center in his first at-bat. And 3 teams will be going home out of the 6 today. Then you have a semifinal and a championship to follow each other beginning at noon tomorrow here on this field. 2-1. 3-1.
And now we're getting into the territory with Moore where he's facing guys 2 innings in a row. Buck, he flew out last inning. Washington, Faust, and Rook, as well as Curcio and Gorecki. They all batted last inning too. So he's starting to see guys really rapidly here. That lets batters get a good eye on him.
Anyone going to get there? That ball foul into the Marian bullpen up along that left field side. It's going to be 3-2 as Riley did break there on the pitch. Could see him go again now on a 3-2 here with 2 out. Actually, absolutely will. He'll be in motion on a 3-2 with 2 outs. Won't even be held on here by Bornick. He'll be off for the races as Buck will look to extend this inning here for the Spartans. Here it comes. Strike 3 called. Moore gets out of the third, works around a leadoff walk, and on to the home half of the third we go. Still 1-0 Aurora. Home half of the third inning, and it's Marian coming up to the plate. Mark Jones, Lucas Lemons going to face Zimmerman for the first time today. And Logan Radaman also guaranteed an AB here in this third inning. So far, Moore has thrown 63 pitches. And that's compared to just the 30 Zimmerman has thrown as this one lifted in the air. Center field, base hit off the end of the bat from Jones. It's his 3rd hit of the weekend. And on one pitch, it's a leadoff runner for the 3rd straight inning for the Sabres. The question is, can they make something of it with Lemons coming up?
Yeah, Mark Jones and Gus Walker, who struck out to end last inning, they're a reason Marian's here right now. This is them coming alive at the right time in the right part of the lineup. That's what led to that big win over Benedictine. They're a reason why they stayed in that game against MSOE.
Good breaking ball, nearly buckles up Lemons. Didn't offer at it, 1-0. Lemons appeared just once so far this weekend. Came against MSOE yesterday and drew a walk in his only plate appearance. They decided to go with Lemons over Kiska. Kiska was in the 7 hole for both games yesterday. Put Walker up 2 spots from 9 to 7 and put Lemons into that 9 hole. Here's a 2-0 count with the top of the order coming up next. Now 3-0. Now Zimmerman has had some excellent pitches. And then he just has lost a couple batters. It's been a tale of 2 different sequences over and over here for the southpaw Zimmerman, who comes home on a 3-0 and takes something off it to find the zone.
Yeah, you just want to see him settle into a groove, right? I mean, he's going to throw a lot of pitches. That's what strikeout pitchers often do, right? You get a lot of strikeouts, you got to throw at least 3 pitches every at-bat. So you just want him to settle into that groove and get a little bit more control because, yeah, like you said, Ethan, he's only faced 8 batters up to this point, which is not bad. His pitch count isn't bad either, but they haven't always been the prettiest of at-bats, especially with someone with the resume that Zimmerman has.
The hitter's count here, 3-1. Comes home to Lemons. Now showing bunt, getting it down. Zimmerman will play it off the hill. Spin around and make a good throw. So a sack bunt on 3-1. Guess you know what you're going to get on 3-1. Good count to do it. And the 9-hitter pushes Jones over into scoring position for the top of the order in Radaman.
All right, now it's time for that top of the order to go. Right, they've done it all playoffs long. Now, this is a perfect opportunity for them. That bottom of the lineup, Mark Jones, Walker, Lemons, they set the table. Now it's time to bring them home with your 3 best hitters, Radaman, Knorr, and Bornick.
Good breaking ball there from Zimmerman. Started in the left-handed batter's box and sweeps its way back into the zone. He's able to get ahead of the leadoff hitter, Radaman, who singled in his first AB today. He's now 4 for 10 here in the tournament. And Radaman leaves it downstairs. Marian now 22-20 overall. Two and 1 so far in the tournament. A win in the single elimination side of it. This one lifted in the air, right center field. Over comes Lukancic into the gap to make the catch. There will be no tag, and there's 2 outs.
Good cover there by Lukancic. Good angle he comes in, too. Gets behind that throw, keeps Jones where he is. Had to cover some ground to get there, too. So, leadoff single. He got moved over on a bunt, but thanks to the fly out and the good coverage by Lukancic, all you got to do is get it 1 more out now. However it comes, just get 1 more out. You're going to strand a runner in scoring position.
Not an easy out to get here. Robbie Knorr hit a line drive into center. 0 for 1 so far, and he hits another line drive into center, but this one's going to touch down. Jones streaking around third. Throw coming to the plate. The relay. Got him!
His hand was close. He got
Faust with the relay to the plate from Curcio, and the inning comes to an end. This game remains a 1-run game, headed to the middle third. Middle third here between Aurora and Marian. Aurora with the 1-0 advantage, a narrow lead at 7-8-9. Another bang-bang play at the dish here for the squad of Marian, who has now gotten 2 runners thrown out at the dish in the past game and a half. That was as close as it gets as Washington takes the first one outside here from Moore. Washington, Faust, Rook. Bottom of the order is rollover shot to the right side, waiting on it, Bornick. And then he'll take it to the bag for the first out. Peter, what'd you see on that play at the dish?
You know, my first instinct, and the home plate umpire, Philbin, you know, he kind of hesitated. I really thought he was going to call him safe. I thought that the Aurora runner, Jones, Marian runner Jones, I thought he got his hand in there underneath the tag. It was a good relay. He had plenty of time, but I don't think that the Aurora catcher, Riley, really did a great job of covering the plate. He left some space there, and I thought Jones kind of got a hand in underneath the glove. Now, Philbin called him out. It was a close play. He was obviously closer to it than we were, but I'm not surprised to see Marian send him here. Not that I've have any right to be a third base coach. I don't know if I would have sent him there. It was a pretty shallow ball, and the Aurora center fielder, Curcio, did a good job getting to it quick, and it was a good relay in. But with Marian, you got to take what you can get sometimes, right? You're not a high-powered offense. Sometimes you got to try and steal a run.
Popped up on the right side, and out goes Bornick, and foul ground to reel it in. Another nice play out there from Bornick. 2 of them, and there's 2 outs.
So I don't agree with it, but I don't hate the send there of Mark Jones.
Well, Moore's got the chance for an uber-efficient top of the 4th. All he's got to do is get through the 9-hitter Rook now, who drew a walk in this second inning, and that was in the midst of a bases-loaded rally for Aurora, but they were unable to capitalize on it. They have scored their only run in the first inning, and the only run of the game as this one's lifted in there. The center should do it for the top of the 4th. Walker measures it up and ends the inning. Quick inning there from Moore, and the Marian Bats, hungry, coming back up to the plate for the bottom half of the 4th inning. Home half of the 4th inning, and after a quick top of the inning from Moore, he puts the Bats right back in the hands of the 3, 4, and 5 hitters, Bornick, Nelson, and Clayman. This team trails a run, but the work is cut out for them here against Zimmerman. Bornick, left on left, takes the first pitch fastball for a strike as Zimmerman zips one in.
You know, I said this in the MSOE game last night that Marian lost, where the later this game goes, and as long as it remains close, the more and more I like Marian's chances. They have found ways every game, even the one they lost to MSOE, to just kind of break through and get something to go their way and make it interesting. I think the longer and longer that Aurora just cannot bury this team and they keep Marian in it, I like the Sabres' chances more and more. So good job by Moore to keep his team in it after letting that run up in the first and getting some trouble after that.
It's been 3 scoreless innings since. 3 scoreless innings so far in general for Zimmerman. It took him 39 pitches to get through those first 3 innings. Now over 40 here in a 2-2 count. To Bornick, who struck out swinging in his first at-bat, and now he pops this one up, left side of the infield. Who's got it? Rook calling for it and reeling it in.
Yeah, we're starting to see why Zimmerman was pitcher of the year. The strikeout number is not extraordinary. He's got 2. Came in the first and in the second. Since then, he's got nothing in the strikeout category, but he's kind of, you can tell he's in a bit of a rhythm right now. Just good at bats, good battles. Hasn't seen an inning go longer than 4 batters yet.
Nelson grounds one to Rook. He vacuums it up and throws him out. Could start to see both pitchers settling into a groove, and it's a fun thing to watch, especially for Zimmerman, a pitcher to his caliber. He's starting to make his pitches over and over again. And Clayman, the only one standing in front of him and in his way of a 1-2-3 inning, would be just the second inning as Clayman rips one in the air, deep right field. Lukanczyk going
trouble.
back. That is over his head. One bouncing off the wall. Clayman pulls into second with a 2-out double, and Marian with their first extra base hit.
All right, well, this has Marian written all over it. 2 outs. You get an extra base hit to get someone in scoring position. Now it's time for that opportunistic hit. Right, Dylan Peace, who's kind of struggled this tournament. All it takes is one good hit, and you forget about that. If you can tie the 2 seed in your elimination game, you're going to forget about some past struggles pretty quickly. He's just got to get something off Zimmerman here.
Just misses outside, 1-0. Zimmerman absolutely hung that breaking ball to Clayman, who has been a tough out all weekend. And he clobbered that ball left on left. Bounced it off the fence. And now it's 2-0 here to Peace.
Yeah, the ball was pretty close to being a ground rule double. Ended up there anyways, but that was probably just a couple inches away from clearing that red top of the fence out there.
Popped up right side, headed for foul ground. Can Faust get there? He's still running, and then he lets it go. Not sure if the footsteps of his second baseman, Washington, backed him away.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe some situational. I mean, he knows. Maybe he was thinking, there's only 1 out. I catch this. The runner goes to third. But there are 2 outs on the board. So you catch that, the inning's over. But, yeah, it looks like something spooked him off. He didn't stumble. He just got out of the way.
Might have just lost it in the air.
True, and just made sure to get out of the way so he didn't get plunked.
Swing and a miss there on a backdoor breaking ball. That has Peace well off balance. Zimmerman has him where he wants him.
Again, no innings gone beyond 4 batters for Zimmerman. He's got a chance to continue that trend here.
2-2. Zimmerman, home, popped up.
Back.
Behind the plate, that might land on top of us in the press box, and it does. So we'll have to do the 2-2 again. Tying run is in scoring position here in the bottom of the 4th inning. A win or go home game. It's off the plate.
Good eye. This has got to be super intimidating for Peace. He's been struggling all tournament. Now you got a runner in scoring position. You're down by 1 in your elimination game, going up against the best pitcher in the conference if you're going by awards. But just the discipline to lay off that one, take it for a ball, and load up the count.
Payoff. Home. Swing and a miss. Zimmerman pulls the string on Peace, sets him down again, and we are on to inning number 5. These 2 teams separated by just 1. Fifth inning. Moore continues to pitch here for Marian, and he delivers a strike. It's the top of the order here for Aurora. An offense that ranked #1 in the NACC. Still yet to get going here in this elimination game, but with the lead. And that's thanks to Curcio getting things going in the first inning for the Spartans. Walked, advanced to second on a wild pitch, and came home on a Riley RBI double. Game immediately had the feel of being a high-scoring game, but it has been a pleasure to watch Moore and Zimmerman get into a groove. And despite some bumps in the road, keep this game just 1-0. Curcio in a 3-1 count. He's walked in both of his plate appearances so far. He swings at this one, launches one in the air to deep right field, but Jones ranging to his left and reeling it in. Not as deep as I thought. Got under it. And it's a high fly out for the first out here in the top of the fifth inning. Here comes Gorecki. Top three in this order, all lefties here against Moore. But the top of this order still hitless. Now went through the 5-hole, the catcher Nelson, and it's 1-0. So these two teams played against each other twice in the regular season. That's exactly how the NACC formats their regular season. The first one went to Marian 4-1 at Aurora. It was a Nelson 3-run double in the fourth inning that made the big difference. Both teams would tack on one more, but that was it. And Marian out-hit him 10-3. So that one is up and out. But Aurora bounced back in the nightcap, a 9-3 victory where they were the ones to rack up double-digit hits, 11 of them. As they went to Edgar Barba to start. It was a bullpen game through most of it. Zimmerman actually ended up getting the win after throwing 2 1/3. As that's a strike called on 3-0, now 3-1. So an even split in the regular season series. And now these two teams squaring off here in a do-or-die game. Moore gets a swing and miss on 3-1, and it loads up the count here. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Curcio was retired to begin this inning. Moore looking to stay hot here, a 3-2. That misses downstairs, and he walked him. Came all the way back from 3-0 just to end up walking him anyways. It's the 5th walk issued from Moore. If there's been any flaws in this game, it's that.
Yeah, that's why he's at 82 pitches already, right? I mean, you eliminate, you think about it, 5 walks, that's at least 4 pitches. That's 20 pitches right there.
Lukancic slashes one over shortstop into left center field. Gorecki thinking about 3, going 3. He'll be in there, and on over to second goes Lukancic. Hustle double, second and third. Here with 1 out. And Aurora, another prime opportunity to bring home some insurance. This time here in the top of the 5th.
Yeah, they need to add on here, right? You don't feel comfortable with a 1-run lead the way that Marian's playing with some momentum right now. They're hungry, and they are feisty. They're gritty, too. They will come back from that, no issue. And that's what we haven't really seen up until last game between Benedictine and CUC, is a team just put another team away. Benedictine did that last game, right? They went up by 6 against CUC. Even though the Cougars scored 2 in the 9th, it wasn't anywhere close to come back. So if you're Aurora, you got to pile it on here. Get that multi-run lead, I mean.
Now it's 1-0 here to Riley, the 4-hitter, responsible for the only run on the board. An RBI double in the first inning. Riley takes a breaking ball, down and out. It's 2-0. Still only 1 out here in the inning.
And if you're Moore, you can't get phased here, right? You kind of, after struggling in the first and the second, the third and fourth were clean, right? You started the third with a walk, and then you retired 7 straight Aurora batters. Get it back into that rhythm.
3-0. You have the open bag here. Zarnecki, who's 0 for 2, is up next with Buck, who's also 0 for 2 in the hole.
86 pitches now for Moore.
No one in that bullpen. Actually, there might be a righty going down there.
I do see a righty.
Blocked my vision with the fence.
He is throwing, so
3 balls and no strikes here. Moore kicks and fires and finds the zone. Riley should have the green light here. Heavy hitters count for the righty Riley. Gorecki at third, Lukancic at second, 3-1, pulled to third, stabbed by Radaman. He dives and gets the out there. Ooh. How about the heads-up play from Radaman? And the lead runner is taken off the base path. There's 2 outs.
There's that defense that we talked about all of yesterday. They don't always go for the easy play, right? He wasn't going home on that. Easy play would have been throw to first, just get the second out, and worry about getting out number 3 with 2 runners in scoring position, as we're going to have a pitching change. But instead, Radaman goes for the risky play. He sees that runner leading. He goes after him, right? If that doesn't work out, you got bags loaded with 2 outs. So big kudos to this Marian defense. They don't always go for the obvious play. They want to get that lead runner. They want to turn 2. They want to make those tricky plays, and they're pretty darn good at it.
We'll step aside, pitching change. Marian makes a move. So we saw Michael Martinez come into relief yesterday. He threw 65 pitches in the win over Benedictine. 3 2/3 of work, allowed 5 hits, 3 runs, only 2 were earned. Struck out 2, walked 2. Yeah, not sure how heavy his workload will be. Here with Zarnecki up first and second. Zarnecki lifts it in the air, deep right center field. Walker going back in front of the warning track. 1 pitch to end the top of the 5th. And Aurora strands another 2 on base. You can make that 7 in the ballgame. Well, we enter the second half of this baseball game, and we're still separated by just a run. Marian coming up to the plate, 7-8-9, beginning with Gus Walker. Peter, this one's been good, close. What can we expect in the second half?
I think we're going to see a lot of the same. I mean, Zimmerman's really settled in, still hasn't faced more than 4 batters in an inning. And this Marian lineup, they're battling, but they're just not able to string those hits together. They've got the Zimmerman at points. They've caused some battles, but they just haven't found that big hit. They haven't found a couple hits in a row. So these two teams, they're just going to keep on battling. And at this rate, Zimmerman's good to go for a while, right? He's only at 57 pitches now, so he's got some gas left in the tank. Marian, though, I think they're going to get a little riskier. They know every base runner is so valuable against Zimmerman.
It's poked out to short, and a leaping grab from Rook. And that's your first out.
And a touch on Brandon Moore after the end of that inning. His stat line officially closed 4 2/3, 3 hits, a run which was earned, 5 walks, 2 strikeouts across 22 total batters faced, and a total of 88 pitches. So not the cleanest outing for Moore, but it was effective. And he's got his team just down by 1.
Yeah, he labored his way through those 4 2/3, but honestly, a fine job. If you told me that he was going to walk 5 against this powerful Aurora offense, I probably would have told you that all 5 would have come around to score at the absolute least. He's able to limit the damage here, and I believe a warning just got issued out to the third base coach of Aurora. I believe that's Adam Stevens down that third base line, the head coach of this ball club. He was given on home plate umpire Sean Philbin an earful after the bang-bang play to end the 3rd inning. Counts now 1-2. Jones takes the breaking ball just outside to even the count, 2-2. Zimmerman with now 62 pitches here in this ball game. 38 of them have been strikes. It's a soft roll to the left side. Charging is Zarnecki, or Gorecki, I beg your pardon. He throws him out. Badinger is the coach down the third base line. So he was the one given a warning. This one hit up the middle. That is through. Past Rook. 2 out knock here for Lemons.
Well, there's Marian's base runner, right? They've had one each of the last 4 innings. It was only the first inning. They had a base runner there, too. It was Radaman, but he was thrown out trying to steal. So 5 straight base runners for Marian in every inning, but they just haven't been able to bring them home. That's where they really struggled offensively, is putting together some hits. Hard to do when you're already at 2 outs.
Radaman, first one is a strike.
And
1 for 2 here in the ball game.
Zimmerman's done a remarkable job with runners on, right? Even though he's had a base runner on every inning. Hasn't thrown a 1, 2, 3 inning, except for the first, if you want to count that, with Radaman being caught stealing. Yet, does not seem to faze him. He just goes to work.
Marian has only left 2 on here in the ball game. 2 outs have been on the base path. First inning when Radaman got picked off, and then Mark Jones getting caught trying to score from second on a base hit. Now Radaman waited a little too long to pull the trigger on that breaking ball, and he's behind 1-2.
He wanted a big hit there. Went down to the knee after the swing. but just couldn't get contact with it. It's a big at-bat here. Radaman's a good hitter. He puts something out there. Who knows just how far Lemons will go.
That's out to the right field line, but drifting foul. Lemons, small sample size. He's only tried 2 steals all year. 1 for 2 on those attempts. So hard to really dictate the speed of Lemons, who's over at first right now. Well, he's going to run here on a foul ball from Radaman. Ironic that he goes as soon as we just mentioned that he's only tried it twice all year. Giving it a go with 2 strikes in the bottom of the 5th inning. Here in a do-or-die game. The 1 run on the board came in the very first inning, the top of the first from Aurora. No scoring since. Zimmerman looking to make it through 5 scoreless innings. The southpaw comes home and misses upstairs with a fastball. Wanted to get the chase after the breaking ball.
And he's got to get 1 more out. Would be in line for the win. He deserves it at this point. Very good game by Zimmerman when his offense has been really quiet. He's just gone out there, keeps him at 0.
That's yanked foul.
But 1 good swing of the bat could change that.
Counts 2-2. Here with 2 outs. 4th straight 2-strike pitch. Runner goes. Hit in the air right field. Routine for Lukancic. And it's 5 scoreless here in an elimination game for the NACC Pitcher of the Year. Sixth inning coming your way. Marian keeps Martinez on the mound. Threw a lot yesterday, but going to remain out here to face Buck, Washington, and Faust. Martinez deals a ball, and it's 1-1. Again, 65 pitches yesterday, but a senior, and the theme this weekend has been, hey, if you're a senior, go leave it all out there. Not going to take you out unless you absolutely need to, as this is a line drive to center, but right at Gus Walker.
Yeah, they got someone thrown in the pen, but I think he said it. They're not taking Martinez out unless they need to. This is his game right now, and he's been effective so far.
He threw just 1 pitch to end the 5th inning, got Zarnecki to fly out, and now 3 pitches to get Buck. Here comes Washington, another lefty. Thought about going after the first pitch. Doesn't elect to do it. It's a strike at the top of the zone. Martinez with a 3.57 earned run average. It actually rose after allowing 2 earned runs. Went from 3.41 to 3.57 after his short appearance against Benedictine, but it didn't matter. He was able to work his way through almost 4 innings and help lead Marian to a victory. 0-2 misses outside, wanted the change up there, didn't have much feel of it, and we'll have to do the 2-strike pitch again. Marian was down by 1 going into the 9th inning, the top of the 9th. Scored 2. Down to their final out. I mean, a 9th inning to remember for this program, who is just a 4-4 team all time in this tournament. Martinez looking to play it off the mound. He does. Now it's a foot race, and he's going to win it.
Oof. Yeah, I think he realized by the time he got that ball under control, he was really close to first base. It would have been a quick and short throw. So he went with the safe play of just going to outrun the runner, tag the base myself. Don't risk throwing it away or first baseman Bornick not being ready for it.
So here's Faust after the 2 quick outs. And he takes a strike. Martinez looks locked in. The righty just pumping in strikes right now. Competitive in the zone. No balls and a strike here in the top of the 6th inning with 2 outs. Then goes to the slider. It's a good combo there, but no chase from Faust. A run on 3 hits. No errors here for number 2, Aurora. No runs, 5 hits, no errors for Marian. Ground ball left side at the shortstop, Nor, who waits on it, then makes a strong throw and ends the inning. Bottom of the 6th coming your way. Still 1-0 Aurora. Well, Marian has been held off the board for 5 straight innings. Can they mount a comeback? Can they get on the board, trailing just 1 run? Nor to lead things off, and it's a fastball up and out.
Yeah, if there's any question surrounding Zimmerman after he got hit around last night, right, pitched a lot, over 40 pitches, and then comes back in and gets the start today. He's quickly erased any doubt that he was NACC Pitcher of the Year. 5 scoreless. He's looked really clean doing so. 3 strikeouts, maybe a little below what he's used to, but right now, only at 74 pitches. He's got some leeway here.
Hitter's count here. Nor takes a strike right down the middle.
And the great thing about Aurora's squad, their pitching staff, is you don't necessarily need to save him for a game later today because you have Connor Hogan, who was just as good as Zimmerman. Didn't have the strikeout numbers, but had a better ERA, in fact. And, yeah, Hogan didn't look great yesterday in his outing, but you got to trust your man there. You have a killer 1-2 in Zimmerman and Hogan, so you're not too worried about Zimmerman being available or not later today.
So Nor walks. Tying run is aboard, and here is Bornick.
Here's Marian's base runner, right? Haven't had more than 1 in an inning. I've had 1 in every inning.
Hanging breaking ball there. A good way to get ahead for Zimmerman.
So it's now about putting some hits together. Get that runner over.
Oric flies it in to right, not deep. Lukancic lining it up. And that's out number 1 here in the bottom of the 6th inning.
I mentioned it earlier, but we see it again here. Zimmerman's resilience with runners on. He's not phased at all about that runner at first. He just goes to work. He gets outs. He gets shallow pop flies or grounders or strikeouts or whatever it may be. He doesn't care how many runners are on, even though he's done a good job of keeping it at just 1 an inning. He's just going to go out there, throw his stuff, and keep this Marian team off the board.
Swing and a miss there from Nelson to begin his. Back here on the Cougar Sports Network here with 2 outs now in the top of the 7th. You didn't miss much. A ground out from Rook. Curcio singled into right field, and Gorecki just flew out to left. So there's 2 outs. Lukancic, the 3-hitter, digs in. Aurora still leading by a run, 1-0. Runner goes on a breaking ball that misses outside. The throw down, not going to get him. Curcio steals the bag into scoring position, hoping to be a critical insurance run, as this has been a 1-0 game since the top of the 1st. Nothing but scoreless innings since.
Yeah, the way Zimmerman's pitching, he doesn't need more than 1, but you feel like you get a 2-3 run lead with him on the mound. He's probably got at least 2 innings left of him. He's at 81. You can push him a little bit.
And they're going to walk him intentionally here. Don't want to face Lukancic. He doubled in his last AB. Rather put the force everywhere here with 2 outs and Logan Riley coming up.
And he's still got a bag to give. Right, third base is open. So only base there isn't a force is at home. And yeah, now you get Logan Riley, but hasn't been too much easier. A double was the only RBI in the game, and then a pair of fielder's choices. So he's putting the ball in play, which you do like to see if you're a talented Marian defense.
First one upstairs, eye level to the righty Riley. Aurora 9 outs away from a trip to the quarterfinals tonight. Breaking ball tapped over the mound. This is a tough play. Nor, the shortstop, tags the bag as he picked up the baseball. Inning over. Aurora strands 2 more. Make that 9 in the contest. Time to stretch here at Raider Stadium. Home half of the 7th inning. Zimmerman rolling 81 pitches deep. Clayman, Peace, and Walker coming up. How do you solve this Zimmerman masterclass so far, Peter?
At this rate, your best bet's just get that pitch count up. Chase him. Now, that's easier said than done, and I think he's going to have a long way to go until Coach Adam Stevens is comfortable pulling him. right? I'm sure he's going to let him go as far as he can this game. Again, knowing you have Connor Hogan ready to go for game 2 tonight, who's just as good this regular season, even if, again, he got touched up a little bit yesterday. So if I'm Marian, just extend every at-bat, force Zimmerman to throw a ton of pitches, and hopefully chase him and just see what you can do against another arm. Now, if that arm's Connor Hogan, which I kind of doubt, but if it is, then you're in trouble. But you get any other relief pitcher, you're going to have better luck against them than you have against Zimmerman.
Zimmerman got banged around yesterday against Edgewood. He has been locked in here today against Marian. 2-1. Is off the plate, 3-1. Walked the leadoff hitter in the 6th inning. Got helped out by a 5-4-3 inning-ending double play. In danger of walking the leadoff hitter in back-to-back innings. Zimmerman has issued just 2 walks here in the game. He can make that 3.
That's a good start, right? A walk, force him to throw 5 pitches for a single batter. You get a base out of it. Now, if you do want to have success against Zimmerman, which is a very tall task, at least it has been this game, you got to start stringing some hits together, right? That's been their main issue. They'll get a leadoff runner on. They'll get someone on with 1 or 2 outs, and that's it. They cannot find that next hit. And maybe as you're closing in on the final couple innings here, maybe be a little bit more aggressive. Go for a stolen base. Try to extend some hits, right? Turn a double into a triple, a single into a double. Turn a double into a triple, a single into a double. Just start causing some chaos.
Peace trying to get a bunt down here. Sacrifice situation, hoping to get the game-tying run into scoring position.
I think if you approach Zimmerman very standard, go up there, just try to get a hit, you're not going to find much success against them. So you need to start getting creative here.
Peace takes it low. Justin Zimmerman ready to come home on a 1-1. A long stare to first. Runner goes. Hit and run was on. Foul ball 1-2. Zimmerman, a senior. Got to think that this is the last time he'll make a start here in this tournament. Leave it all out on the line. He has thrown up to 133 pitches in a game before. Came on March 3rd where he struck out 12. So well equipped to go the distance here. The one concern is that he threw 40-something pitches yesterday. So keep that in the back of your mind. But again, a senior looking to lead his team single-handedly to the next rounds.
Yeah, and honestly, there's a chance we could see him again, right? I know it's crazy to say just how many pitches he threw yesterday, how many he's already thrown today, and probably how many he's going to throw by the time he leaves this game, whether it's with a complete game or for a bullpen change. But, looking ahead to tomorrow, there's a chance that Marian, they end up playing 2 games tomorrow, right? If they win both games today and then they win game 9 tomorrow, at some point you just got to go to whoever you got. So I wouldn't say it's crazy that we might see him again, depending on how long Aurora's run goes.
Okay, NACC able to reel in the pop-up for the first out.
You're right. He's a senior. He's done after this. Just time to use every ounce of baseball he's got left in that arm. Obviously, you don't want to hurt him. Just because he's done playing doesn't mean you want to put him at injury risk. But if he's feeling good to go, toss him. Even if it's in relief like we saw yesterday.
That's most likely how you'd see him later on. Potentially championship if they're able to get there. Have him toss maybe the final inning, maybe the final few innings. Really depends on how much he ends up throwing here in this one. And if Aurora even survives this game.
I'd say they're not done. They're not guaranteed a trip anywhere yet. Marian's done some crazier things and come back from 1 run with 3 innings to play. Or 2 2/3 innings to play, I should say.
Runner goes. Walker, swing and a miss. Throw down is late. Oh, but he's off
He's
the
off.
base and out. Clayman over slide second. And it's another mistake on the base path here for Marian.
That's just killer. You get the stolen base. That's what I was talking about. You got to get creative here. You get the stolen base. You put a guy in scoring position. One hit, you can tie this game up. And he just slides a little bit too hard. Again, you got to be cognizant. You're playing on turf, right? Not quite as much friction as if you're playing on dirt, as he is slowly walking the dugout. I don't think he's happy with that call. I think he believes that he got back in time. Sure didn't look like it, though.
0-2 misses outside. It might have been just some overall frustration. It's Gus Walker 0 for 2. Behind 1-2. And Zimmerman a pitch away from getting through this seventh. Slap foul, left side of home plate. Out it goes. Next up, MSOE, the top seed, ready to take on Edgewood. Winner to the championship. Loser to play tomorrow at noon in an elimination game. Second crack at the semifinal. Both teams have earned the right to play in that game. This is pulled up the middle. This is a base hit past the dive of Washington. And it's another base runner. Now with 2 outs. Mark Jones coming up.
First time we've had more than a base runner into this game for Marian, and more than one base runner in an inning for Marian. And, you know, I hate to bring it up again, but you have a runner on second there, that could maybe score. You never know. And so we'll have to see what this is about. I have to believe it's probably just a mound visit. I don't even see anyone throwing for Aurora.
Yeah, no signal to the bullpen.
Just gonna
taking out Zimmerman.
Just checking on their ace, making sure he's okay. Right now, through 6 2/3. He's sitting at 96, so there's a good chance he hits 100 before this inning is over. That's a very quick at bat.
Zimmerman hanging on here in the seventh to this 1-run lead. It's all the cushion he's got. Hoping to deal 7 scoreless in the biggest game of the year and the most important start of his senior season.
I got to believe that Aurora is going to get someone moving here soon. Right, Zimmerman's, again, probably going to hit 100 by the time this inning is over. Needs to be less than 4 pitches in this at-bat to not be true. So get someone going. As, yep, I see someone walking down to the bullpen right now. Pitcher and a catcher, too. So they are going to get someone moving.
First one to Jones. Misses far outside.
And I believe, it's hard to read that number, as the number who was walking down is now walking back, so I don't think he'll be the one warming up. Walking down was Alex Panico, who's an outfielder.
He's the messenger.
Definitely looks that way. As now I do see someone throwing. So yeah, Panico just spreading the word. Get someone going.
Runner goes. Swing and a miss. Another throw down. This one high. And in safely is Walker. The tying run is now in scoring position. Here with 2 outs.
Yep. Again, getting a little exciting. A little more aggressive on the base paths. Not sure what this conversation's about.
My guess is potential batter interference.
It was a big swing on that pitch.
And wow, look at this. It's at least drawing a meeting. Sean Philbin getting the whole crew together to converse about their 2 umpires. And nothing's going to change here.
You know, and that was Adam Stevens who went out to request to talk, the Aurora head coach. And, yeah, even though you don't get anything, you know what that does do is it gives your bullpen a little bit more time. So if Zimmerman runs into trouble here, you've just bought about 5 minutes for your relief pitcher to get ready. So don't hate that move from head coach Stevens.
This one gets away from Zimmerman, but luckily right to the shortstop Rook. A lackadaisical effort from Zimmerman off the mound.
Yeah, Zimmerman, you never really see much urgency in him, right? Even when something good happens, it's pretty straight-faced. Watching him field bunts, he's very good at it, but not a ton of, you know, panic in his movements. Very cool-headed pitcher out there, and maybe that's the reason for his success.
2-2 here with 2 outs.
And we've been talking about Aurora a lot, but you're Mark Jones. This could it be it, right? I mean, you got to value every base runner you get, especially base runners in scoring position, which have been so hard to come by today. Thanks to Zimmerman and some outstanding defense by the Spartans.
Not many opportunities, but this is one. And Jones rips one in the air to left center field. That ball is trouble. That ball is down. This game is tied. Mark Jones, the 8-hitter, comes through for Marian. It's a new ball game.
I said the word at the top of the broadcast, or near the top of the broadcast, opportunistic. That's what the Sabres have been all tournament long, and we see that here. You have 6 2/3 innings of nothing, right? Very few base runners, only 1 base runner an inning. You get caught stealing a couple of times, other outs on the base paths. And finally, with a man in scoring position and 2 outs, you get that clutch 2-out hit from Mark Jones. They strike at the right time, and we are all tied up here. Now, see if Lucas Lemons can keep it going. Another hit like that, Marian's going to take the lead. As crazy as that sounds to say, with how good Zimmerman's been, maybe he's just starting to run out of gas here. He's at 102.
Lemons a little late on it.
You got to think for Zimmerman, depending on what happens in the top of the 8th, if Aurora takes the lead, maybe we see him again. But if they need this to stay tied, I have a very good feeling they're going to go to a fresh arm. It's all about what this offense does, as well as what does Marian do here. They could take the lead. 1 good hit.
Good breaking ball, 1-2. He's still executing his pitches. Made 1 mistake there to Jones. The 3rd run Jones has brought in here in the tournament. He has had big swing after big swing. Just timely hitting for the 8-hitter in white. 1-2, fouled back.
Good fight here, right? And again, even if you don't bring this run in, even if you don't reach base yourself, you're driving that pitch count up. Right, he's at about 105 right now. Pitch count hasn't updated just yet. He's getting close.
Ball and 2 strikes. The pitch popped up right side. That ball should get out of play.
It will.
And it will by just a foot. It's Faust ranged over to that fence.
Good fight. Keep the inning going. Keep that pitch count going up. You don't want to see Zimmerman again, right? Even if you hit into an out here, strike out, whatever it may be, just knock him out of the ball game. He's been so good, even with that run he just gave up. He's been so good today. Start to face someone else.
1-2's outside. Pitch count rising for Zimmerman as it's getting late here in this ball game, on the verge of entering inning at number 8. The question is, will this game remain tied? Ball 3.
Man, this bottom of the lineup for Marian, they've been so clutch this whole tournament, right? Not very consistent, but when they need a big hit, they come up with one. Guys like Jones and Walker. See if Lemons can do it. Nope.
Swing and a miss. Inning over. Marian with the damage done on a Mark Jones RBI double. Headed to the 8th inning. All tied. Well, it's up to Aurora now. They led the entire way until the bottom of the 7th inning. And the first one is a called strike.
All right, see how Aurora responds now, right?
Zarnecki pops it foul.
You get
Will it be playable? Still coming on and overrunning it is Clayman. Ran too hard at that ball, and it's 0-2.
So for Aurora, right, you get punched in the mouth for the first time today. You relinquish the lead. You might have seen the last of your ace and Zimmerman. How do you respond at the plate now? Right, pressure's on. You have 6 outs to try and take a lead, or else you're either going home or we're going to extra innings, depending on what Marian ends up doing in their offensive halves of the inning.
Zarnecki pulls it hard on the ground, right side. Peace gobbles it up, and it's dug out at first. Not a great toss on over the short throw, but Bornick able to handle it for the first out. So Ryan Buck, the designated hitter, coming up, 0 for 3. Hit out to center twice and has struck out looking. Back foot breaking ball downstairs, not offered at. Second at bat here against Martinez. And a line drive to center against him in his first try in the 6th inning. And it's an identical pitch and an identical result, 2-0.
And remember, Martinez got the win yesterday, but threw 65 pitches and gave up a pair of earned runs. Gave up 3 total. As right now, he is looking at 35 pitches. So how much gas does he have left in the tank, right? I mean, he's closing in at about 100 pitches between today and yesterday.
There's a strike on 3-0. Buck may have thought he was going to have the free pass on just 4 pitches. However, this plate appearance continues. And now it's 3-2. After Buck takes a good swing at it on 3-1, a good cut. Full count. Payoff, 3-2. Lifted in the air, center field, right at Walker. It's the 3rd time he's hit it that way and the 3rd time he's been retired that way. 2 outs here in the 8th.
That'll bring up the second baseman for the Spartans, number 9, Matthew Washington.
Man, we talked about how good Zimmerman's been. How about this Marian pitching staff, though? Between Moore and his 88 pitches over 4 2/3, and he's off the line, off the hook, I should say, for the loss now. No decision for him. And now Martinez, that was pitch 39. He's given up just 1 hit and issued 1 walk. Right, they might not have the pedigree, the awards that guys like Zimmerman do, but they've been just as good. Maybe not as effective, but just as good.
Stand at the bat, foul ball left side, 1-2. Washington 0 for 3, looking to break through here in the top of the 8th. Martinez, chance at another quick inning. Marian in the bottom of the 8th will send the top of the order up to the plate.
That's what you want, right? Those top guys guaranteed another at bat. You got a fresh lineup through these last 2 innings.
Routine pop up into center, but it's going to drop. Walker forced to play it on a hop. It's a 2-out base hit here for Washington. And Faust coming up.
Yeah, interesting decision there. I mean, Walker got up there with some speed, and then he slowed up and let it drop. Maybe he thought that, you know, I can't get this ball, so I'm just going to stay back, make sure I stay in front of it. Don't let it get by me. Don't overrun it. But there was a pretty drastic slow up there for Walker. Or maybe he just misjudged it. Who knows?
First pitch breaking ball called a strike here to Faust, who's 1 for 3. Singled in the 2nd inning and was stranded at 3rd. That was when Aurora had the bases loaded. And again, time and time again, you thought Aurora would just break through, and that's kind of just what they did all season. As the 2 seed and the best offense in the conference, but that has just not been the story here this tournament for them, and especially here in this game. Deadlocked at 1 in the 8th inning with number 5 Marian, a team that has given them a run for their money.
And Marian, you know, kind of a sneaky number 5, right? I mean, you're 5th in the conference out of 12 teams. That's nothing to scoff at, and as amazing as they've been, maybe not talked about as much as some of the other teams here, right? MSOE Aurora, they're the big bad teams, right? 1 and 2. CUC, they were rolling in. One of the best seasons they've had in a while as the 3 seed. Benedictine, a lot of history here. They're always good. And then the 6 seed, Edgewood, they've been the surprise of the tournament.
Popped up left side. Radaman puts it away. Martinez. Remarkable work out of the bullpen. Chance for Marian to take the lead in the bottom of the 8th. 1-1.
Third baseman number 36, Logan Radaman.
Well, top of the order coming up here for Marian. They're able to take the lead. They can close this one out in the next inning. Radaman, Knorr, Bornick, Zimmerman remains in the game, and it's clear that this is his game to finish. Regardless if this goes to extras or not, 109 pitches deep into this ball game. 110 coming home here to Radaman, who takes it outside for a ball.
Yeah, you got to think, though, that leash has got to be kind of short here, right? 110 now after that ball. And he's pitched a good game, right? I mean, 1 run in 7 innings of work, that is nothing to scoff at. It's just his offense hasn't been able to back him up. That's why we're in a 1-1 game. So I think the strategy here for Coach Adam Stevens and Aurora is let him go until he really gets into trouble.
Pops it up And it's put away by Rook.
Right? Even though he gave up the run, that still wasn't a terrible inning from him last inning. Right? Gave up that single and then the RBI double. Both the 2 outs, but still. 1 run through 7 innings, 7 hits. Right? Averaging less than a hit an inning now after that out. It's been a good outing for him. Just keep riding him until, again, he gets into trouble. It's just going to be how quickly do you pull him when he starts to get into trouble.
Nor leaves it up. It's 2-0. Nor is 1 for 2 in the ballgame. Been on base in each of his last 2 plate appearances, a walk and a single. Hitters count. Popped it up. Again, right side. Washington drifts into right center field. Quick 2 outs. Too easy for Zimmerman.
But for Marian, right, think about all the magic they've done this tournament. They've been doing that as the away team in both games. Now you get to play as the home team, right? You technically do have a better record than Aurora, 1-1 versus 0-1 in this tournament. So you will get the last 3 outs of this game to try and make something happen.
Zimmerman spins one in. Goes to that breaking ball to get ahead of the 3-hitter Bornick, who he's held in check so far, 0 for 3. Now 3 for 11 here into the tournament.
Same thing with Edgewood next game. They're going to be the home squad against the MSOE Raiders, who are the home squad. We're playing in their stadium. It's going to be a weird feeling for MSOE to be the away team when every sign around here has the Raiders logo on it. But still, Edgewood's done so much magic, always batting the top half of the inning. Them and Marian now, they get to see what they can do when they have the final say in the game.
That one yanked foul. Way ahead of it is Bornick, who turned and burned, and it's 2-2. Well, it's time to reset, regather his thoughts for a big pitch. Zimmerman.
Yeah, Zimmerman coming off, I say a long inning. He only faced 5 batters in the bottom of the 7th, pardon me. But long by his standards, right? Every other inning, it was 4 batters or less. 3 batters, 4 batters, 4 batters, 4 batters, 4, and then 3 before he saw 5 last inning.
Swing and a miss. Zimmerman. Unbelievable. The senior leaving it all out there. We're going to the 9th. Still tied. We got a pinch hitter here in the 9-hole for Aurora. Making a move here in the 9th inning.
It's Jaden Holgado. We saw him yesterday in Aurora's loss to Edgewood. He was a pinch hitter for Spencer Rook, and he went 1 for 1. Reached, scored a run on it. And
First one's downstairs to him. It's Holgado.
For Spencer Rook, who Holgado is replacing, 0 for 2 with a walk on the day, so not the best of days at the plate for the shortstop. Made a couple nice plays over there. This for the shortstop. Made a couple nice plays over there. The 6-hole, however. And I have to imagine Holgado, who's listed as an infielder, outfielder, a junior out of Romeoville, It's probably where he's going to end up in the bottom of the ninth.
Pulls one to third. One to third. Picked up on a few bounces. Radaman. One out. Picked up on a few bounces. Radaman. One out. And the pinch hitter is retired. To start the ninth.
Now batting the center fielder, number 20.
To start the ninth.
Now batting the center fielder, number 20. Dominic Curcio.
So Curcio now coming up. Been on base 3 times, hoping to do it again here in inning number 9.
Yeah. Pair walks to start this game. He flew out, but then he got a single. And he stole back too. He's just been a pest for any opposing pitcher. Such a hard out.
2-0. And now all of a sudden, Martinez in danger of walking Curcio to start off.
It's just going to take one, right? I mean, obviously you don't know what Marian's capable of, but the way Zimmerman's been pitching, even though he's given up the lead, you're going to feel good with a 1-run lead going in the bottom of the ninth. You'd like more, of course, but you know, if you can just get back in front, there's a good chance Zimmerman can shut the door.
Curcio didn't like that call, so he swings at this one. Soft liner, center field, base hit. Second hit of the day for Curcio. He's got 5 this weekend. He is the go-ahead run here in inning number 9.
Again, just such a tough out. Good hitter. He's good on the base paths. He's good in center field, right? He's just good everywhere. And now, I wouldn't be surprised. Maybe a little steal.
He gets a hanging breaking ball and pops it up to the left side. Radaman should have room. He does, and the inning comes to an end. These staffs just dueling it out here in a do-or-die game. Zimmerman coming out for the bottom of the ninth. One run would win it here for Marian. Send them to the quarterfinal tonight against Benedictine. Zimmerman looking to make it through 9, send this game to extra innings. As the first one is a called strike. Ryan Nelson, Jacob Clayman, and Dylan Peace. Bottom of the 9th inning, tied at 1. What a game this has been as that one misses inside, ball and a strike.
Hey, Clayman's who you want, right? He's been so clutch this whole tournament. You get a man on here, Nelson. You feel pretty good about what Clayman's done so far in the clutch. Easier said than done against a Zimmerman who has been absolutely dueling. Absolutely dealing, I should say. He's been dueling with this Marian pitching staff who's been matching him. even though they've had to use 2 pitchers between Moore and Martinez.
2 balls and 1 strike. Nelson 0 for 9 here in the tournament. Looking to break through. And he's in a 3-1 count, a good count to do it.
Just get on for Clayman, right? That's all it takes. You just need 1 runner to cross home, and you are moving on to the next game and sending the number 2 seed home.
Ball 4. 5-pitch walk to start.
Walk brings up the left fielder.
Might run for Nelson here, and they're going to.
Clayman.
So Nelson going to come off here. He's the catcher. Brandon Todd in to run. Todd's the winning run. Oh, I beg your pardon. Looking at the wrong squad here.
George Hawes Jr. We saw him yesterday.
Yes, Haas Jr.
George Haas Jr. coming in pinch run for Marian.
Hawes Jr. We did see him yesterday. He was a pinch runner for Dylan Peace in Game 2 against MSOE. Didn't do anything on the base paths, no runs.
Well, he's the winning run right now. Hoping to send Marian to the next rounds. Clayman showing bunt. Not going to offer at it.
And as for Haas,
Zimmerman not happy with the strike zone here and making it very clear to Sean Philbin, the home plate umpire. Clayman showing bunt immediately. Try to get Haas Jr., but now he pulls back and swings. The infield in. They got some holes in that infield. Don't hate the attempt there.
no, I like the idea, right? Showed butt. Third baseman for the Spartans, Gorecki. He was in. You can loop one just over his head. It's going to do a lot of damage, but instead he's got to play Zimmerman straight up again. Might show bunt, though. He will.
Clayman playing defense there. It almost hit him. And it's 1-2.
Yeah, I think he was trying to pull back there, but unfortunately, ball just caught that bat.
Big 2-strike pitch. Zimmerman looking to put Clayman away. Doesn't chase the slider that was dipping out of the zone. Nelson began this inning with a walk. George Haas Jr. is running for him at first, representing the run that could send Marian to the quarterfinal tonight against Benedictine. Another 2-strike pitch, and Zimmerman first will pick over. Two. Breaking ball. Big cut at it.
Clayman's been such a professional hitter this whole tournament. Big hits, good fights. Got another one coming up.
Off the plate. Full count.
Again, good fights, mature. Very experienced hitter. What do you expect out of the senior out of Green Bay? Playing not too far from home here.
Maybe a warning was issued here to Aurora.
Yeah, we've seen that a couple times. Philbin behind the plate. Both these coaching staffs, a lot of jawing going on. Saw it earlier. He was saying something down the third baseline to the Marian coaching staff.
Big pitch. 3-2. Runner goes. Claimant swings and flies it into center field. Ranging back Curcio. Still going back. And he drops it. He dropped it.
He's got to get to second, though.
Haas Jr. is in.
Oh, man.
Critical drop out there in center.
Oh, man.
Critical drop out there in center. First and second. Nobody out. Season on the line. Pieces coming up.
Curcio, who's been so good in the outfield, as Coach Adam Stevens comes out. Don't know if this is a change or not. I haven't seen any motion yet. I don't think it will be. And you can see Curcio popping a squat out there. He knows what just happened. He did catch a lucky break, though, with how he was set up. The fact it looked like he was going to catch it, Haas had to turn around and start running back to first. If he doesn't, if he just runs through, which would have been a not smart thing to do on his part just because of that looked like it would be a catch, but if he had just run through, he would have at least gotten to third. At least gotten to third. Now, you got that runner in second. If Peace can just put something the other way, a little opposite side hit, that could do it for Marian. Miracle run would continue for the 5 seed.
Can Peace be the hero? Might get asked to bunt here. Show and bunt. Getting it down. It's a beauty, but hang on, it's called off.
Hit his bat twice. Hit his bat twice. Double touch on the bat, so he's going to be brought back. That's a big break for Aurora. Most likely would have gotten Peace, but I don't know if they would have gotten anything else. At this rate, if you're Aurora, you know, hey, we got to go for that lead runner, right? These guys behind him, it doesn't matter. An out's an out, yeah, but
called strike. And now it's 0-2.
All that
Peace, he's been an 0 for today. A strikeout in the 4th. He got the winning run at second. He still might be asked to bunt here. Just 1 for 11 here in the tournament. There's 2 strikes and time is called at home plate by Peace. This is just a huge situation here with Haas Jr. at second, the winning run. Claimant at first makes it that there's a force everywhere. A quick chat with his head coach, Badinger, before coming back up to the dish. And again, the odds of him showing a bunt here, despite there being 2 strikes, are still high. They will do what they can to put it in Gus Walker's hands. Can Peace come through? Showing bunt, pulling back on a ball that misses outside.
first baseman Faust, he thought that was a strike. You can see he put his hands on his head. Doesn't look that way from here, but it was a close pitch. Zimmerman still battling despite that elevated pitch count.
1-2. Peace swings, line drive left field. Zarnecki almost got burned, went in, then went back, reeled it in, and that's a big out, number 1.
Yeah, and for Zimmerman, 136 is his pitch count, right? Probably going to hit 140 unless you get a couple good bounces here. But now, a little less pressure. You get a grounder up the middle. Yeah, Gus Walker, he's quick. It's going to be tough to double him up, but hard enough hit ball to the infield. You could be out of this inning, which is looking so promising for Marian after the Curcio drop.
Zimmerman still tossing strikes. 137 pitches deep into this ball game. Still chucking. The southpaw comes home to Walker, waves and misses, and it's 0-2. And now Zimmerman. Good pitch away from the second out of this inning, at the very least. 8 1/3 under his belt. Walker able to lay off somehow. I mean, that starts in the zone and just barely tails out on that slider from Zimmerman. That's just ball one. Still a lot of work to do here for Walker. You got Mark Jones up next. Doubled in the only run on the board for Marian. And the fastball is upstairs, so it's 2-2.
Yeah, Walker and Jones, they've been the definition of clutch for Marian this whole tournament. Can't give them anything.
It's 2 balls and 2 strikes. Walker pops it up on the infield. Infield fly is called. There's 2 outs. Zimmerman and out away. It's up to Mark Jones, or we are headed to extras.
And should mention over at shortstop, that is Will Sevier. All right. Spencer Rook was pinch hit for by Jaden Holgado, and it wasn't Holgado who stayed in. They actually subbed Sevier in defensively, even though Holgado is an infielder.
This one gets away, but not far enough away from Riley. Not worth taking the risk here with the winning run still in scoring position.
Yeah, Riley was on top of that the whole way through. He was looking at the base runners as he was tracking down the ball. Good play there by the catcher. Keep everyone where they're at.
Two and out.
That one almost got away too. Riley had to come all the way over with that glove hand to make the snag.
Breaking ball drops in the zone. He continues to go to that pitch. It has been so good. That gets away. Winning run. 90 feet away, and it's 3-1. You almost think about walking Jones here now.
You probably don't think about pitching to him, right?
Yeah, they're going to walk him here.
They are, never mind.
Bases loaded.
Start with a fresh count. All for Lucas Lemons. He's got a hit today. He's also got a sac bunt. Obviously, that's not going to fly here. And he struck out as well. Desired outcome for Zimmerman and Aurora, though any out will do here.
Bases loaded. 2 outs. Called strike. Backdoor spinner. Haas Jr.'s at third. He's the winning run. Marian looking to put an end to this ball game. Here in the bottom of the ninth. Send themselves to the quarterfinals. Lemon swings and misses, and it's 0-2. Couple breaking balls. Zimmerman
At 148.
about to throw 149. The senior. The NACC pitcher of the year 2 times. Coming home on an 0-2. Take it for strike 3. Zimmerman and Aurora survive the bottom of the ninth. We're going to the 10th. This game too good to end in 9. Middle of the order due up here for Aurora. A run apiece. 10th inning. Riley, Zarnecki, and Buck due up as Martinez remains in the game. Fastball right down Main Street to begin the 10th. Riley brought in the only run for Aurora back in the top of the first inning. And they have been held off the board since. They have left 11 on in the game compared to 7 for Marian, with 3 of the 7 coming in the bottom of the 9th inning.
Yeah, that one's going to be a kicker, right? You have a prime scoring opportunity against a Justin Zimmerman who has been on lock almost all game besides the one run he gave up. And the thing about that is you can't even chase him, right? He's just going.
Line drive right center field. Riley, potentially extra bases. That one going all the way to the wall. Extra bases indeed. Go ahead runs in scoring position with nobody out.
Double from Riley brings up the left fielder, number 7, Nick.
Second double of the day. Zarnecki coming up.
Little meeting here, talk some strategy. Gotta wonder, do they go small ball here? They try and lay down a bunt, move him to third. I mean, whether he's at third or he's at second, a hit's gonna do it, right? If you see the advantage of having him at third is anything in play likely will score him.
Hitters count 2-0. Swinging a ground ball. That'll get the runner over to third on a 4-3 put out. Riley 90 feet away from the first run since the first inning for Aurora.
Yeah, they've been so fortunate to have Zimmerman on point this game, right? You go 9 innings, you put 1 run up for an offense that's been so good all year, and you're still in position to win the game somehow. And as for Zimmerman, right, relinquish the lead, but he's got a chance to still come away with the win. He's just got to get his offense to back him up here.
Head coach Jordan Badinger, 8th season with the Marian program. They're now 4-14 all time in this tournament, with 2 of those wins coming this weekend. They're making a move on the mounds. Tanner Alstein enters the pitch here for Marian. Threw 124 pitches across 9 innings 2 days ago to get Marian to this double elimination game.
Yeah, it was against Concordia, Wisconsin. It was in the single elim round, so that was another do-or-die game. And this guy's their ace.
Buck pops it up, center field. Walker lining it up. Riley tagging. Here he comes. Here comes the throw. Aurora has the lead. Here in inning number 10. Their first run since the first inning.
Yeah, and that's going to put Martinez in line for the loss, right? That was his runner. And that's just an unfortunate break for Michael Martinez, who threw such a great game out of the bullpen. But his offense just couldn't back him up. They tie up the game finally, but couldn't find that second run. Especially that bottom of the ninth is going to haunt them, right? Bases loaded, probably the best chance you had at Zimmerman all day long, and you come away with nothing.
2-1 here to Washington with 2 outs. Nobody on. Marian going to have 1, 2, 3 in the next inning. This one slapped out to third. Eventually picked up. Radaman throws, and the tag is applied by Bornick. Well, here we go. 3 outs to work with for Marian. Their top 3 coming up. Last chance. Marian has their season on the line. And Aurora goes to Brandon Todd. Justin Zimmerman has his day come to an end. A pitch shy of 150. 9 innings, 8 hits, 1 earned run, 5 walks, 6 strikeouts. Hoping that his college career will continue after this game.
Yeah, as for Todd, 6.03 ERA, 37 innings and a third. This is appearance number 11.
It's Radaman, Knorr, and Bornick.
So, you know, they got what they wanted out of Zimmerman. Kept the game close, kept the game tied. He's working with the lead for most of the game and, you know, kind of doing the right thing. He's in line for the win now. He deserves it. If Aurora wins this game, he deserves it after that performance.
0-2. Radaman, the leadoff hitter, slashes one foul up against that sidewall. These two teams battling. Winner moves on to tonight, playing the quarterfinals against Benedictine. Loser goes home. 0-2. Popped up right side. Should be playable. Faust giving ground and making the catch right along the sidewall. 2 outs away is Aurora.
Now batting the shortstop, number 1, Robbie Knorr.
Now Robbie Knorr. Swinging a hard ground ball out to second. Picked up by Washington. Throw is bad, but tag is applied. Faust doing a nice job over there at first. Marian's down to their final out of the season. Todd coming in and just doing his job. Next game after this one take place approximately 30 minutes following the conclusion of this game. Number 6 Edgewood, number 1 MSOE. Winner of that game to the championship. First one taken for a ball. James Bornick, 0 for 4, a couple strikeouts. Did not have any sort of success against Zimmerman, the NACC Pitcher of the Year, but hoping to find it here against Todd with the season on the line for Marian. Taken for a strike to level the count.
Nice pitch. Catches that outside edge. Bornick just got to get on. Right? Put a base runner on, put the tying run on base. You're not a home run team, so don't be swinging for the fences.
Swinging a drive right field, fairly deep. But that ball is caught, and Aurora survives. Lukancic able to line it up on the warning track. Bornick gave it a good ride, but this game comes to an end in 10 innings. Your final box score, Aurora, the winners, 2 runs on 7 hits and no errors. Marian, 1 run, 8 hits, no errors.
Just the definition of the battle of wills right there, right? 2 defenses who do not want to budge, and 3 pitchers who do not want to budge. Justin Zimmerman for Aurora, and then the combination of Moore and Martinez for Marian. No one wanting to give up any ground to each other, and it just comes down to 10 innings and a couple of hits for Aurora, or I should say for Aurora. One hit for Aurora and some nice base running and some nice small ball. Yeah. Just
is your final 2-1. Zimmerman going to get the victory.
Another excellent game here at the NACC tourney.
Todd gets the save for the final 3 outs he gets. Of course, it ends with a deep fly ball into right. Congratulations to Marian on an excellent season and one heck of a run here in the NACC tournament. But they are our second team eliminated. It was CUC this morning and now Marian here in the afternoon. Still have 2 more games to go, but first we're going to bring Justin Zimmerman, up to the booth for a post-game interview. Now MSOE and Edgewood will come up afterwards. What a ball game. I'm here with Justin Zimmerman, the winning pitcher. A senior laying it all out on the line. Was there anything stopping you from coming out of that game through those 9 innings?
No, not at all.
How's the arm feeling? 149 pitches.
Honestly, not as bad as you'd think. Pretty good.
Okay, what got you through those 9 innings? Able to keep Marian at just 1 run and keep your ball club in it, keep the season alive.
I mean, just knowing that possibly could be my last time going out there, I got to leave it all out there for my teammates, especially all the other seniors out there with me. I got to do everything in my power to give them another chance.
Absolutely. Your offense gives you a run early on in that ball game. What allowed you to just continue to roll through that game, continue to make the good pitches despite the traffic on the base path over and over again?
Yeah, I mean, that's just something I try not to worry about. I mean, I try to control what I can control, and that's just throwing the pitch, hitting my spot, and doing whatever I can with the pitch. I try not to worry about those runners on base.
Now, I know you're out of the game after the 9th inning, but your offense able to get a run in the top of the 10th. What's the emotion like when they get across, finally able to break through for the first time in 10 innings, and now you guys have the lead?
Just honestly relieving. I mean, I know we needed one more run, and then I trusted the guy coming in after me to shut it down for us.
Well, he did just that. You guys are moving on to the quarterfinals. I know you're probably going to need some ice for the rest of the day, but what's the vibes like with the squad going into the quarterfinals later on today?
Good. We needed this. It was obviously tough battle. Kudos to Marian. They fought their asses off all game, and I think it just gave us a little spark to roll into tonight.
Justin Zimmerman, 9 innings, 149 pitches. He gets the win here today. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yep,
Appreciate
we'll see
it.
you later on tonight.
Cool.